Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pernigo bringing you another Cause Monarchy cast. We've got Slav taking on ThunderSlaps here. It's actually ThunderSlaps playing Ascozi instead of Zerg. This is right after our balance adjustments hit, post-Acropolis 4, and I have a feeling ThunderSlaps just was like, well, everybody's talking about Ascozi, I'll try him out. Or maybe it had nothing to do with that and he just wanted to give that race a try. But either way, going up against one of our new players, Slav, a Terran player who must be of, Near East origin, I guess, just judging by the name. I don't have any idea which specific country of origin he is from, but that is quite all right. Maybe I'll find out if he ever signs up for one of our tournaments, because it does give you the opportunity to pick your, declare your country, and then I can use your flag on Wikipedia and stuff like that. So anyway, Slav, down here in the bottom left, playing Cause Monarchy like a real man. He was going massive gas income on his first pull, and he goes for a star pad first. I mean, I respect that. That's pretty legit. ThunderSlaps in the top right. He looks to be our electric orange. Oh, just regular orange Ascozi. And Slav in the bottom left. I guess this must be Dark Sapphire Terran. Yeah, going for a stockade follow-up afterwards. This looks like Wraith into Trojan for drop. I'm not entirely sure about that. You might actually make like 2 Wraiths. Do you just waypoint your first Wraith across, though? That's my question. He lifts off the star pad and puts it all the way in the back. So this is a long delay for his first unit. That's like half the training time of a Wraith, I feel like. Power building the second Radix. ThunderSlaps might be planning something a little bit of aggro and cheesy. We know how he plays Zerg, so we shouldn't be surprised if that's what he wants to do. And it looks like he'll go for a function as the follow-up. It will be a Wraith. I guess he's just going to stack Wraiths in the corner. That's what that... I'm feeling that. I'm intuiting that. I don't really have an explanation. I think it's something about the way that he's like set the rally point and put the star pad all the way in the back. It's just something that tells me what's going on. Might be that. Now we are on a map called Qinngua Valley, which you may recognize from Acropolis, I want to say 3. Yeah, Acropolis 3 featured Qinngua Valley. So this is a map that has some history for competitive play in Starcraft, Cause Monarchy specifically. So I'm happy to report that BDB gets another one of his map showcases, but this is a modified version of it from that Acropolis 3 variant. Get some nice cliff, cliff love over here, where you get the transition between the grass and the outpost, which is very cool. And, well, there's the power building going on here. Multiple missionaries moving across get scouted by Slav. I love the little wide bridges over here with all those sprites to cover up the any bad transitions, right, that otherwise you wouldn't be able to really make use of, which is very cool. Multiple Hurricanes being made, a Cyprian as the follow-up. This is a weird-looking game. Slav playing this like a campaign mission or something. Second star pad to make more rates. Right now he's only got 2. You can barely see that second one in the bottom left. Missionaries are going to poke the front. I don't really think you're going to be able to do too much here, particularly since the Cyprian has a multi-hit, so he's actually blocking. Some of his damage is being hit, even when typically you would have the impact dissipation to block an incoming shot. It's the secondary hit there. Makes it pretty hard. Eesh. Well, a second Cyprian arrives. He wasn't able to actually kill that first one, and it will be repaired by a couple of helpful Masons, so there is that. Chantry on the way in the natural. Looks like ThunderSlaps wants to just bypass this problem with some cloaked units. He ended up canceling his function, so that's kind of a curious statement there. He's making a lot of Cardinal. I guess Cardinal could be kind of scary, but remember, only the missionary in this composition shoots up, so the Wraiths can deal with that pretty easily if there's an emergency, and I don't know that there will be. It really depends on how many Cyprians get made. I don't really understand what I'm looking at. I never see Bio versus Ascozi, so this is really interesting for that reason. I really look forward to when I finish up the Ascozi CPU code, that make it so that computers can control Ascozi units, because then we can get like campaign missions and stuff, and I won't have to worry about it. The Wraiths are standing by. They're going to reveal themselves now, which this should make Sir Slaps feel a little bit, oh shit, but now the Wraiths need to move across the map to get some damage. I mean, if he just sits home with them, they're not really going to accrue much value, right? Grandstand has already been made inside the natural. We don't have anything in the main for protection. He's still making Cardinals, which is kind of wild, considering he has no anti-air. Slav could just walk over and finish the job. Vestry halfway complete, making more rates with the second star pad, and looks to be getting ready to expand. Dude, Terrans are just eating good. That's what I think. Now, the Grandstand does have 3 armor and 300 health. It's pretty hard for you to kill it with just Wraiths, but is he going to give it a shot? Yeah, you can't repair that, buddy. That's not how this race works. He's trying. He is desperately trying, but it does not quite work that way. He even canceled construction on his other grandstand. This looks pretty dire. He's only got a grandstand in production. He's got another one inside his main base, however. He's going to get... okay, made a couple of missionaries. Slav is being real generous with his work there. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure why he's waiting and being so nice. But he will go ahead and start heckling the grandstands. I feel like he could just kill the missionaries, to be honest. But again, he's being nice. He's being kind. One of these two wraiths aren't even doing anything. So yeah, this wraith attack won't be as effective as it could have been. Grandstand even aggroing some more of that damage. Yeah, so it does look to me like, you know, he didn't pick the Chantry when he could. He didn't just fight the missionaries and get on top of the radix or something. Dies from cringe. Okay, I guess he's feeling similarly to me. I don't know. I wasn't dying of cringe, but yeah, I was calmly explaining what I think he could have done better. But that's okay. He doesn't have that level of kindness with himself, apparently. So we get a couple more power building grandstands coming out here. ThunderSlaps being very cautious about the potential for more air units. I really like the idea that you get really far ahead with your Wraith attack or something, and then, which I guess isn't really what happened here, as you see the worker count favoring, I guess neither player right now, slightly favoring Slav, based on the Mason timing, if that continues on, but you call this an even situation, basically. But, you know, you get ahead with your Wraith attack, however ahead it is, even if it's marginal, and then you insult your opponent by saying dies from cringe. It's like, your response has made me die of cringe. I mean, if you think about the resources expended in that fight, it does end up favoring the Terran, but I'm not sure how ThunderSlaps plans to come back from this situation. You think about the matchup and how I've always been told that Terran mech in particular is actually really hard for the Skozi to fight. And so how do they want to go ahead and navigate that? They probably don't want to get behind in any way in the early game. They probably want to just pilot their way into a clean, you know, tier 2 into maybe even tier 3, but go for those flyers or maybe go for some Doranin and some kind of Aphoris-based composition or something. So we'll have to see how that takes shape over time. Well, that guy didn't last very long now, did he? Mason's going to go ahead and get back to mining. I'm sure Slav is planning on some... Yeah, Cestus for the detection. As if ThunderSlaps had been a little bit more on the ball, there wouldn't have been any way for Slav to notice that there was a missionary walking through. He'd have to just use his eyeballs. And he's busy looking at other things, I'm sure. Most people are. Object comes out now from the function, so he's going to try to absorb some of the incoming pressure. I do think objects are pretty good. I mean, some people I guess they basically say, like, yeah, ignore the function, it's not very good. But objects they unlock a lot of possibilities you can't have with any other unit in the game. Now, Cestus is continuing to build up. One thing I've been thinking about, and I don't really know how, you know, whether I want to do it, but I was thinking that maybe Quarry add-on could, in addition to unlocking Talos, could also like increase the training time or the training speed of ministries or something like that, so that they train Masons faster or something. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Then I feel like you would never want to make anything else though. So I don't know. I think about stuff like that sometimes. I'm like, what can we do to increase the value of these add-ons? But it's okay if we don't. Fulcrum is being able to make the Palladium almost immediately. It's kind of interesting because, well, it does feel like when you're considering the the Palladium as an option, you get the Phalanx, which is supposedly really difficult for the Skozi to play into. But going double Cosmoscope right now behind the mineral line, that's an interesting set of choices there. He's made the Gauntlet, but he has not made the Cypher yet, so he can't access Tier 2. Got a Pilgrim up to the top left that looks like maybe wants to make a Grandstand at some point. Anti-drop play or something like that. The Wraith stack is up to 9 with an Anseal. They're definitely going to be a bit better at absorbing the pressure from the Grandstands and maybe some of these other units, but yeah, it looks like the Anseal is also here for detection. He's going to go ahead and just pick off some of these targets. Missionary's trying to pepper him down. The Anseal shield is gone. Only has one Grandstand up here. I like the idea of targeting down the builders. That's a good move for sure. Wouldn't mind if he focused those down a little bit more. Getting a lot of kills here. Looks like he's just going to orb walk his way out. He's down to only 6 wraiths, so he's lost 3 of them already. It's going to be a little bit harder for his wraiths to get many kills, but I guess he's still getting a few on the way out. Honestly, this attack has really sold ThunderSlaps a false bill of goods. He is losing a lot of workers here. The Anseal continues to get his shields back, but the wraiths are starting to falter. They're not like hugging the Anseal as well as they ought to. They're not automatically, like there's no magic box work over here with like a deployed shaman or something to make it so that the formation collapses. A couple of Valkyries got made, which is kind of funny. And it looks like a single missionary runs in there. I don't think ThunderSlaps can attack at all. But the Valkyries got made, I guess, as a response to seeing the Cosmoscope. If he queued those up from a hockey or something, that's plausible. Anyway, Ministry for base number 3 on the way. Oh, he can just walk up. He can just walk up. Okay, he deploys the Shaman to C. Now, these phalanxes can't really deploy themselves, and the Escozi army getting the free walk-up like this is a bad news for the Terran. But again, the Cyprian count plus the Harakans running the armor, it just wipes ThunderSlaps off the map. And that does feel pretty dire there. The NCL even providing detection for, I think there was like a pilgrim that got pulled with the army or something off to the side. Now can ThunderSlaps defend the counter push? It feels like Slav should just pilot this to an easy victory. What a weird looking game. This is actually the 4th Ministry, believe it or not. Yeah, Slav has some funny ideas. I think if he played in a tournament like Weekend Wage, you know, probably like he's one of those like losing the first round type players. Unless we get a lot of, you know, a bottom heavy group, I guess you would call it, where it's like, yeah, you got a couple of players who are in the running for top dog, but then you get like 8 players sign up and they're like class 3 or class 4, you know, underclass players as we call them. Below our top 20, basically, if they're outside of that area. So I feel like Slav probably would be able to make some entertaining games happen in the lower bracket, though. I'll tell you that much. And honestly, that might sound like a backhanded compliment or something like that. I don't mean it to be that. I think it's actually really cool to see a new player get to a point where he can... he understands the game enough and he has his own ideas that he expresses. I think that kind of thing is really neat. The star pad first, I don't think did exactly what he wanted it to do, but he is pretty close to just being able to finish the job here against ThunderSlaps. Not really a lot he can do. He's building tirades. The Cyprian count is too high, I think, for that to make a huge difference, though. That's his anti-air right now. He's got a Shaman for the heals. He's got Valkyries as well, remember. Chantry gets blown open. If the Anseal stays alive here, then there's no hope for any cloaked shenanigans anyway. And it looks like the first of the grandstands in the natural could fall soon. Well, he's going to go ahead and get those Valks active. No, I guess not really. They're not even required. The tirades go up in smoke. And this, my friends, is a screenshot-worthy moment, I am. 3,000 minerals, 1,000 gas, but Slav doesn't need to spend that money. He'll save it for his next game. GG! ThunderSlaps has been defeated. And that was a really bizarre game, you know, like ThunderSlaps learning Escozi, Slav just new to the project. So we got to see some real, like, you know, the awkward teenage years of both of those players as far as their respective races are concerned. I guess respective performances, I should say, as I believe Slav is a Terran main, but he plays all the different races. After seeing him in the FFA on In Twain play Protoss, I was like, well, he seems to know the game. He seems to know what units he might want. Even some speculation in the comments that he might have gotten Epigraph, presuming the Zerg would have Ultra Cores or something, which would have been a really good choice then. But yeah, this time around, he shows his stuff with Terran, and I think that is his main as far as I know, so cool to see. We'll see more from him and from ThunderSlaps and from all sorts of Cosmonarchs on this channel. So subscribe if you're not already. We got daily uploads coming for Cosmonarchy match coverage. And I'll see you guys very soon for more exciting games. GG.